All right, welcome back once again to the PCS Spring Split Playoffs. We are 2-0 up from Megabank Beyond Gaming and Impunity, backed against the wall in this elimination match. Are going to need to find some answers fast if they want to keep their hopes alive. Everybody, I'm still Pirate, he's still Clement, and once again, our sponsors, CTBC Bank and Caliber, thank you for making the PCS possible. Now, Clement, we've liked a lot of the creativity in these drafts out of Impunity, but it does seem like they are on a couple different pages and making some questionable decisions when they have advantages.
I think they still have a very good shot at coming back into this series for sure. In the last game, if you think about their situation, they were up 2,000 gold. They had 3-0-0 on Faith's Ahri. I expect that to still be the draft plan coming into Game 3. It's just about the team fighting and making sure that they can snowball with that advantage further on onto the line. And if you think about the past game, it was really just the last two team fights where Beyond Gaming actually made a definitive stand. So I think the strategy is going to be very similar coming into this one. I still think Ahri blue side is probably just 100% locked in, and we are going to see kind of the only tweaks I think we might see are just coming from the bot lane. I'm just not so sure that Zillion is what you want in a composition like this. I'd actually much more prefer something that just has better engage overall. But interesting enough, Impunity actually go for the red side here. They had side selection, but not opting for it.
So let's see if this changes anything. Now, the Akali ban that they got punished by in a little game number 1, do they now opt for the Zeri, or excuse me, for the Ahri? They still are sticking with the Volibear. Oh, I feel like this is a mistake, Clement.
Yeah, this is sort of weird to see this. I think the reason you go red side here is likely because you have some sort of a good matchup that you want for Quiet. And if you look at the situation right now, it's Tryndamere, it's Ahri, and Zeri. All three of those champions are still up. I feel like Impunity wants to trade the Ahri for the Zeri. That would be my guess. That's probably the strongest move that they could make. Oh no, they're actually banning the Ahri.
Maybe they really want to put something for Quiet that he's going to be happy with. Maybe the Tryndamere comes out finally, since it doesn't get banned in this phase 1. But Wako's going to get another chance on this area. That could be trouble.
Yeah, I don't really like this strategy so far because Beyond Gaming's bottom lane is just, in my opinion, just way too strong. It's their best performing lane throughout the entirety of playoffs. And if you look at the stats there, it's quite different, night and day, honestly. So Zeri is almost guaranteed to get fed. Impunity, I think if you let the Zeri through, you once again have to go with a bot lane focus strategy. You have to have some sort of hard crowd control. You have to have mid jungle prio. At least they have the Lee Sin to do this this time around, so maybe there is some pick that can go into the bot lane. I'd say most likely is the Rise here for Impunity, and for them to just try to shut down Wako again.
All right, Husha gonna flip the script here and take the Viego for himself, one of his most played champions as well in the regular season. And they'll pick up a Nautilus early so it doesn't get banned away. Already looking for a very strong engage-heavy bottom lane for Beyond Gaming. What is their final pick here in the... is Faith just going to try to take... Okay, are they going to just say, all right, Minji, what else you got? They absolutely are. Oh, this is an interesting composition they're setting up. Then they're still throwing bans out mid. They just want to deny him everything.
How far does the hold go? That's the question right here. And to be fair to Minji, he has played some other stuff in the past. We've seen his Orianna pop out, and he's also played things like Kiana, also the Zed. He does have some other champions. I wouldn't say they're meta, though. I think the best that Beyond Gaming can do in this draft is just go for something that is just, you know, stock standard in the mid. And most likely, I'd say probably the Rise here is an option that they could go for. But it's always kind of hard to say with Minji because his champion pool just tends to be so out there.
This is 4 bans Impunity have thrown at Minji, and I don't really know if I like the Twisted Fate one. Like, I mean, on paper, sure, but he did not look good earlier in the week on it. Now, meanwhile, Beyond are going to ban 2 of the supports out, Round of Glass and Leona. Not available here for Kralix. We'll see what Impunity end up doing to pair up with this Jinx, but very clearly identifying Minji as a threat that must be neutralized. But they give away a lot in the process of that. The Zeri, not the least among them. Impunity falls back in their court, and they're going to go for a bit more of a defensive option, it seems, with the Braum. It's locked in.
There's not a lot of pressure in this bottom lane against the Zeri, so once again, I feel like Beyond Gaming, they don't really mind about this trade. I've been saying this for a long time, but I think the problem with Minji is not that, you know, like, the thing about Minji is he can allow Beyond Gaming to win games if he just plays a B- Orianna. Or,
I don't think he's going to, though. I think we're going to see him on another assassin. We get the Zoe, and he has played this. He's like, all right, what do I got? What do I got in my champ pool? There's got to be some more assassins. Zoe, let's go. All right, we'll see if Minji can handle it. But I mean, there's a lot of kill threat pretty much everywhere on the Beyond Gaming side, and they're going to add even more here with Liang.
You know what? I actually feel like Impunity could actually take this one. Because, to be completely honest, I feel like if you have the Zeri, it's not necessary to then put a must snowball composition in the Viego and Zoe. Like, to me, that's actually excess risk that you're tagging onto your composition that doesn't really influence the outcome. So, I feel like Impunity, if they can win out on this 2v2, they will hard snowball this game. Because, you know, if you die on an Orianna, you're still going to have impact in the late game. If Minji and Husha die on this combo, they're not going to do anything late game. So, I have to say, I think Impunity somehow actually got Beyond Gaming to overcompensate on some of these picks coming from mid jungle.
Yeah, this is curious. It's a little risky for Beyond Gaming. They do have a lot of damage-dealing threats, but it is going to be on Husha and Minji early on to try and shut these things down. And the Lee Sin LeBlanc combo is pretty deadly there. It's just going to be a matter of how well they can actually pilot it, right? I mean, I think for Taco, I don't doubt this, but we'll have to see if Faith can show up once again. I did like his Ahri play. I think he had a pretty solid Ahri game. Maybe got a little greedy, but overall, didn't look too shabby.
Yeah, I feel like this time around, Minji's going to have a lot of trouble getting out in the mid lane right here. That's not an easy lane to play. You're not going to have a lot of attention coming from your jungle in the side of the Viego, and it's pretty much a 1v2 situation. So Minji's going to get neutralized. I feel like it's just so weird. I just think it's unnecessarily risky for Beyond Gaming to roll with this. But hey, it's what they know how to play. It's what they played the entire split. So they're going to stick to it regardless. In my eyes, the win condition is still very much the Zeri and the bot lane. You get that ahead, you pretty much just snowball the game. That's why she's still like the highest priority champion on 12.5 as a patch overall. And if you look at the top lane, this should be a slightly winning lane on the side of Quiet, but I don't expect there to be much kills going on whatsoever. So both teams should be bottom side focused, but Impunity will have the lead early game just because they have the stronger mid jungle.
All right, and as they had struggled in early games most of the split, that certainly bodes well for the squad to try and stay alive. Remember what's on the line here. Backs against the wall. Impunity need to reverse sweep in order to keep themselves alive in the playoffs. As we are in the lower bracket, it is all single elim from here on out. Liang finding Quiet early on this Gnar, but it will be just a little bit of damage traded back and forth as we open up no more further hostilities. Let's take a look at our runes and summoner spells.
And we do have a pretty defensive setup from Minji here. There is about 25% of the time you do see a more aggressive, sort of the ignites and the electrocutes coming out for the Zoe. But with this jungler in the Viego and with the Lee Sin LeBlanc combo that he's facing, I think this is the right call. It does give himself a little bit more leeway, a little bit more survivability if he can swap into other summoners early on. I do like this play from Minji. You always have to be aware of the potential for an early red buff gank onto you if you are playing against Lee Sin LeBlanc. So he does try to get a ward in, at least know where the Lee Sin is starting out, and does get some actually pretty decent trades in the auto attacks.
Yeah, good start there, all things considered. Taco on the chicken camps early on. She gets that clear through. As Kino and Wako had been helping out Husha, they come to lane a little bit late here. We'll see if Blaze and Kralix can do anything about that. Winter's Bite tags on from Kralix. That's about all they can get done.
Meanwhile, going into the top lane, this one should be a very safe matchup. I do think Quiet might be going for the Divine Thunder. These days, the Triforce has been more common as an item, but the way I see Impunity playing, getting a little bit extra tankiness, and just more side lane split pushing potential. Definitely on the cards for them. In terms of this bot lane, don't expect much to be happening. Both of these lanes, I think for Impunity, it's a little bit more defensive in nature. So they can posture, they can push in the lane, but I don't expect them to actually find any kills. It's much more about getting the mid jungle still to get into the into the correct position.
Absolutely. So should be fairly quiet in a lot of these lanes for a while. I mean, we were used to seeing just so much action early on. And, you know, as I say it, Quiet leaps in as Mega Gnar onto Liang. I feel like these two, even if it's a safe matchup for champions, they're going to go head-to-head. At the very least, trade damage.
Yeah, well played by Liang earlier on. He does prevent the crunch damage from coming through. But this is still a very difficult lane for Gragas to outright win. Gnar a lot of times can just survive the burst damage and go into Mega Gnar. So Impunity are setting themselves up for two lanes that, you know, they could very easily snowball. If Gnar can continuously push in this Gragas, then Faith and Taco do have an extra destination to go to, rather than just trying to shut down the Zeri all the time. But here we go.
And
here
Taco.
comes Lee Sin.
Minji's at least playing towards his own jungler right now, and chains are going to land, setting up for the Sonic Wave connection. Minji trying to bait it out, but it ends up being a first blood for Faith after all. Taco fighting it out, trying to body block. Husha goes forward, gets one, is going to be able to get another one on the Blade of the Ruined King, and all of a sudden things start to turn around once again. Liang is caught out by Quiet, though, and should be falling down unless he can dash his way to freedom. Nice prediction from Quiet.
Oh, man. Quiet with the prediction move. How did he know he was going to go there? It was such a nice one with the Q. He actually saves his own flash because of that call. Great move by Impunity top laner there. A little bit unfortunate for the mid jungle, though. They do get the early kills, but I feel like Taco was a little bit greedy on the flash. He could have got away from Viego just a bit earlier, held on to that. This combo is exactly what we were talking about and why I did not really like the Zoe, because I feel like you can't prevent a death from happening like this. But if you look at this play from Taco, he takes 2 extra auto attacks before deciding to flash away, and I unfortunately have to call that out as a misplay, as he does allow the double kill to go over to Husha. And this one, we've got to watch this one again. This is so sweet.
Yeah, no, this was brilliant. He knew exactly what was happening. He actually tosses the boulder before the flash animation even starts. Like, I mean, it was a total predict. Galaxy Brain. Really just nicely played by Quiet. I feel like these two have such a rivalry going on in this top lane club. And like the rest of the game's going to go on around them, but they're going to be playing their own.
Yeah, very evenly matched. And I think, unfortunately, at this point in the game, though, Husha doesn't mind going 1v1 against this Lee Sin. Look at his items. He's really far up, and I like what Beyond Gaming are doing. They're just roaming their jungle into this mid lane to make sure Minji cannot get ganked by the Lee Sin, and there's no snowball potential. Taco has to run away. He can't take this.
Uh-oh. Yeah, level advantage and everything. Taco sends the Sonic Wave back. No way in hell he's going to be following that one through, though. Quiet does get knocked into the wall by Liang, who's just trying to push him in. Yeah, this is the issue. You give those 2 kills over to the Viego, and all of a sudden you're in a little bit of trouble here. Minji might be neutralized, but Husha certainly isn't.
Yeah, Minji did pick up 1 assist in that play at the very least, so he's keeping abreast with the LeBlanc on the other end, and it's really about how much Husha can actually neutralize Lee Sin LeBlanc after this point. If you look at the bottom lane, he's doing a very good job right now. Taco pretty much can't touch the bottom side, and that means Zeri gets a free path to scale up. Sure, I still think Jinx is you can argue a little bit stronger at 3 items, so it might not be that much of an issue. It's definitely...
Okay, going in. Sleepy Trouble Bubble is going to land. They don't land on the chains, however, and Husha's come in. The moment he shows face, they want to get the heck out of dodge. Does seem like Taco really trying to focus on keeping this mid lane down. Both summoners burned by Minji, but they're not done yet. Husha still on the chase. Sleepy Trouble is going to land, and ooh, he just gets out in time. Taco playing on a knife's edge.
He's going to lose the majority of his jungle here. Even Faith has to go back to base, so... That's 1 Raptor camp down, and I can't imagine him being able to pick up this red afterwards either. This is looking kind of sideways for Impunity. It does mean that I think Minji is going to have a lot more room to operate than I initially expected.
Yeah, he's getting some leeway here, and it does seem like Beyond are able to compensate across the map for what Impunity have been doing, opening up on this first Hextech Dragon as well.
Minji?
Should have it down before they answer. Minji, though, he's burning at the moment. Does have the Sleepy Trouble landing, and the follow-through. Oh, the stiff arm there. Great body block, and Wako takes down Taco as they're looking for Faith as well. I think this is a double kill for the Zeri, and all of a sudden, what was a concern is now a problem.
Oh boy, that was such a beautiful play coming in from the side of Kino. It's a dredge line mid-air to stop the execution damage from going through onto Minji. He saves his mid laner, gets an extra kill, and that's the Zeri snowball time now. Again, this is why I didn't like the Zoe pick this much, because I feel like it's actually very easy to snowball against the Zoe. But Minji is somewhat fed. He has the bot lane help here, and watch this beautiful play from Kino. He preemptively just stops Taco from the execution. Minji stays alive. They bait Faith over committing, and they just pick up another 2 kills on a member Impunity cannot afford to let snowball.
And these chase downs are unreal. This is one of those reasons we see Zeri banned so much. That Spark Surge, such a long range over the terrain. Really good play. Kino with the body block, incredible move on the dredge line. It's going to open up so many opportunities here. However, Impunity are the ones that are going to start off onto this Rift Herald, and it's sniffed out by Kino and Minji. Can they get here in time to stop it? In fact, they're actually going to move away. Winter's Bite tagging onto the Viego, and Usha does not want any part of that. So the reset comes through.
Impunity do have a 4v3 number advantage, but Beyond Gaming buy enough time for the entire squad to be here. I don't think Impunity can full commit to this fight. They will just get sandwiched here. They have to go.
Triple bubble. That's going to be the Narbar getting chewed through. Now this might be a 4v5, but Beyond are fancying their chances to at least win the poke war here. Minji goes forward, gets the Sleepy Trouble Bubble onto LeBlanc. In comes Kralix, and Husha and Wako from the other side. Just going to be able to find the kill. Emil Leong right over the wall with the dash and the barrel. Say hello to the party. It's a triple kill for Wako out of nowhere. Quiet running for the hills. Forced to flash. Not going to matter. We got ourselves a Quadra under 10 minutes, and Wako's running wild.
Oh boy, this is why you keep Zeri in the ban list. Wako on this champion, way too easy to snowball. If she gets fed, she's chasing all of you down. She's got the Hearthbound Axe, so extra movement speed on hit, and she's just able to clean that fight up so beautifully. Beyond Gaming, even though they start the fight off with 4v5, they end up with Liang in the mix as well. Unfortunately for Impunity, they chase up the ramp, but they don't find any critical crowd control. The dredge line came out from Kino. He's able to kite away from everything. They missed the most of their damage. And then now it's Beyond Gaming's turn to unleash all of their cooldowns there. This game is looking really rough for Impunity. They are on the precipice here.
Oh, yes they are. It seems like they're getting one step closer to being knocked over the edge. I cannot believe it. We have a 10-minute Infinity, or excuse me, not Infinity Edge, a Trinity Force for Wako on the Zeri, 6-0. Let's take a look at the play again. We're going to get a pro view.
Yep, we do have Wako just walking right in the mist here. Most of the cooldowns were spent on the ramp, so no one's even targeting him. Look at his HP bar. He finishes this fight losing less than 100 HP. Everyone's so focused on chasing down the other targets, and that's... I just felt like Impunity put themselves in a rather rough situation. That was not a fight that they could realistically extend and hope to win outright there, and they get punished by Beyond Gaming. I feel like the first time around the catch didn't happen, you kind of have to back out. There's no way that the enemy team is going to allow you a second chance at just setting up the same play.
Yeah, but one team's mistake is another team's pop-off, right? I think what we saw in that fight was just really solid coordination out of Beyond Gaming, something that they have struggled with in the past in those 5v5 situations. They've always been much more at home, taking the skirmishes, trying to make plays across the map, but doing it all the same. This time it worked out. Meanwhile, Taco up here, they're looking for the Herald drop, but that play is sniffed out by a crucial pink ward from Kino. So they might still commit to it, but they've lost the element of surprise.
I like how polite Quiet is. He's definitely a player that doesn't tilt much. He is able to just watch Viego take away the jungle here. Meantime, he's getting zoned out on the bottom side, so Impunity have to force this 3v2 if they want to equalize. But that's a 6-kill Wako Zarya. I'm not sure they can do it here.
They would love to get that kill shut down, but unfortunately, Taco spotted out, and it just was too easy for Wako to add another kill to his column. A lightning crash and a whole lot more, and they get another one. 7-0 now. Meanwhile, Beyond are going to try to at least get something, or excuse me, Beyond are going to get something on the bottom as well. They're going to grab themselves Dragon number 2. We've got a Cloud Rift coming up after this.
I felt the play was a little bit telegraphed here, and if I'm being honest, I feel like the best you could hope for is just a raw drop of the Herald, get your plate gold, and go out. I don't think there was any real chance for a behind the tower kill here of happening, but they go for it, and they pay it.
Just getting punished over and over. Impunity. Seems like the same mistakes are occurring here in game number 3. Husha, fed. Wako, very fed.
Ooh,
Quiet, missing his ultimate. Things aren't looking so good in the Impunity camp right now. Liang's going to get some help from Husha, tries to feed this kill over. He actually tags his way out. Lets Husha take it. Now they're just winning on both sides of the map.
Yep, and Beyond Gaming now with a 5,000 gold advantage. Taco is going to try again. I think this is a much better angle of attack this time. You just want to drop the Herald for some gold. You got to do it quickly. Oh, no, time's out. Well,
just get it down in time, but yeah, it's well, you got to charge, but Wako's 1v3 right now. Kino wasn't even in the picture yet.
Yeah, this is the play they should have done last time. I just don't think going behind the tower was realistic at all against Triforce, Wako with heal. And this time they do it, they're a couple seconds late, and they miss out on the 320 gold they should have been able to get. Beyond Gaming just rolling on all cylinders now, and I feel like this is one of those situations where you have to kind of hope for Beyond Gaming to over-aggress like they did in the last game. Remember in Game 2, Beyond Gaming were in a very similar situation, but they gave it all back. It could happen again.
It is always possible. The throw is always an option, but you don't want to be the team relying on that for your win. So, as it stands, 15 minutes on the clock, a 6,000 gold lead, or near enough for Beyond Gaming. A lot of that in Wako's pocket. As Blaze is caught, flash, hook,
boy.
Oh dear! Oh man, they're just playing with their food. Meanwhile, we got a split screen down on the bottom as Liang is dueling it out with Quiet, and he gets the solo kill as well. Everything's coming up Beyond.
Can we say it's beyond a doubt now?
It might be. They are attacking with impunity.
Yeah, Kino, just with the dredge lines, this game has been killing it. He gets the flash over the wall directly onto the target. He found the dredge line last time against Taco as well, and you know, all of the turret gold going over to Beyond Gaming gives him an 8,000 gold advantage before the 20-minute mark. This is getting completely out of hand. The first thing Impunity need to do to get back into the game is someone needs to kill Raid Boss Wako. You know, all the rest of the pieces, alright, you guys can get fed, you guys can farm up. Well, we have to take that 700 gold bounty off of Wako in order for the game to really start.
Yeah, that's a tough proposition. Let's take a look at how the after fight started here between Liang. It was actually initiated by Quiet. Tanks a lot of damage, but it seems like he's doing pretty well here. The party barrel is excellent for Liang, though. Into the belly bop, and there was just no chance for the auto.
Yeah, that was so unfortunate because he just times out and goes into Mininar as he's about to take the physical damage from the turret. So, doesn't get the extra HP or the resistance is there. Falls down, beautiful play coming in by Liang, and he even goes up one flash for that play as well. This is looking really, really rough for Impunity, but here we go. Maybe Taco can find a comeback. Liang is willing to bait this one out and go for the extended 1v2.
But Liang smells this, though. I don't know if he's going to be able to get away. However, he should be able to at least outplay a bit. He's been able to do it at least once. Extra damage, mini waves here as well. Faith is going to be brought. Such a heavy investment to shut down the Gragas, and he's trying to sidestep as much as he can. Does manage to get one before he flashes, he dashes, still limping it back to the base, and I think he's going to go down. My goodness, it took so long for them to do it, cutting through that health bar. Look what's happening on the base. They're losing towers.
That was a herald and 2 towers for some reputation for impunity.
It's a trade.
Yeah, it's a trade. It's a trade, and they do get a lot of much needed gold back. I have to agree with you. If they wanted to do that trade, they really needed that on the Zeri. And unfortunately, Quiet might be handing it back over.
Oh boy, here comes Husha. Yeah, this looks pretty free for him as well. And, oh, we want to talk about gold bounties. He's got another one. 6-1 on this Viego now. And Wako picks himself up a Runans off the back of everything else that's been happening. 18 minutes, the gold lead just keeps extending. Or rather, it's actually about the same, but Beyond just have not given Impunity a single thing. I guess they got the kill on Liang. That's about it.
Yeah, you can't let Liang get away with everything. You can't let him solo kill you 2 games in a row, so Quiet at least gets his revenge, gets some health back, and, you know, we do have to pay attention to some of the gold going back and forth here, because Impunity are actually cutting the gold lead as they find objective gold across the map here. Liang is going to show up top to stop that from happening. And we do get a Herald push coming in from Beyond Gaming. This is likely going to go all the way to the inhibitor here. Impunity don't have the damage.
Gotta dodge out the dredge lines. Minji sniffing for a bubble around the side. Doesn't find it, but doesn't really matter. Shelly goes for the charge in. They would have liked to finish that off beforehand, but let's see if they can keep this going at the moment. It's a 4v4. That comes through for Faith. Would have to run it out, and another charge comes through, but Beyond, they're not going to push their luck here. They see Taco. Oh! Nicely nailed on the paddle star. Taco is going to get stopped just short, and great job dodging out the Sonic Wave.
Beyond Gaming know that they're facing a 5v4 in this situation.
Uh-oh.
So they will draw things out and poke it out.
Okay. No need to fully commit. They knew that the body block was there on Blaze. He's going to stay alive. But meanwhile, Liang continuing to shepherd the minions up top. Should be able to safely walk away from that one. We're not even 20 minutes into the game, so Beyond can't just turn for Baron yet. Although they might when it comes up.
This is kind of interesting.
Open turret down bot. What's going on here?
Impunity are very much dead set on killing Liang over and over again, but this bottom wave, it's not really defensible anymore. They are just going to lose this inhibitor tower, and I think the hitter itself as well.
It's going down pretty quickly here, and we'll check in with the gold this game too, as it's been done. 20 minutes on the clock. Wako has 10,000. Oh boy.
Yeah, I think if you're going to let Zeri first pick through, you have to have an anti-Zeri strategy. You have to have a kill lane bot. You have to have winning mid-jungle. To be fair to Impunity, I actually think they outdrafted Beyond Gaming. In all honesty, I actually favored their draft. If you look at the scoreboard, Minji's not doing anything this game. And I feel like the Zoe pick
that's very true.
Was completely unnecessary against LeBlanc Lee Sin. Like, you're just going to get snowballed on. You're not going to do anything. It's unnecessary risk to pick the Zoe, but it doesn't matter.
The problem is, yeah, the Viego and the Zeri are doing everything, so Minji doesn't have to do any heavy lifting this game.
Well, come on, Impunity, surprise us. I want to see if they can get just one kill on Wako. That's all they need.
That would be the moral victory. I mean, they focus so heavily on Liang this game. They're just trying to give him a bad game. But, I mean, he's still fine. He still gets the 1v1 against Quiet. I do like the minigame those two have been playing. It's just like, who's going to get the final kill between the two of them? And Taco is actually going to be waiting and baiting around here, but he's got a 3-level disadvantage as the jungler, of course. So this is a little bit dangerous. And, oh no, Liang saw him first.
Could just kill him.
He's on the run. It's terrifying. Oh, dear. Kick back. He had to burn his ult for that.
He still has the ult.
It's not over yet. Oh, no. Okay, Taco does sidestep. Doesn't matter. Minji. Oh, kill secures.
That was a decent try from Taco. He did get behind. Liang, but Liang found him in the solo first, and that should just be the open Baron here. Quiet doesn't even look like he's going to teleport. He's trying to charge up his Narbar, but Kralix is going down a little bit too fast.
Yeah, Kralix is forced to flash away from this one. Not a whole lot he can do anyways. And Jinx Rocket comes in. It's always a nice attempt, but Kino's there for the body block. Beyond are just playing this out quite smart, so a 22-minute Baron comes in on everyone. And they're going to be able to get the back off nice and easy.
So I do want to talk about some of the Zeri counters that we've seen throughout the split. Just to mention a couple of them, we did see Ziggs being played here. I don't think Faith has a target, so I'm just going to continue. We did also see the Tristana-Alistar combo work out. Samira-Alistar was also played. Basically, the idea is very similar. You just want to burst the Zeri down in lane before she can really get rolling in team fights.
Unfortunately for Impunity, they didn't end up with any of those, opting to take at least a more standard AD carry and a defensive support pick. And there's a big flank here, but Beyond just kind of run to the safety of the topside jungle that they have completely lit up on their own. So this is completely unpunished, and Beyond are looking to push in for the win. I mean, this would be it. This would be the 3-0 as Kralix gets paddled back to the fountain. Tower goes down on the top side. Impunity, the walls are falling down right now. This is their playoff hopes and dreams for the spring split, and I can't even say it because Impunity are just getting destroyed. The double kill for Owako as he zooms his way forward. It's going to be Nexus turrets as Blaze just tries, but he can't even get back to the safety of the fountain. And on a triple kill, that is going to be lights out. Beyond Gaming just electrify Impunity.
Taco, go in!
3-0 victory to move forward in the playoff bracket.
Zeri first pick, 3 multi-kills throughout the game, gets the early quadra into another 2 triples. I think this is a very good demonstration of why this pick is still considered must-ban coming in on the red side.
You know what we call that, Clement?
Patch. What?
Okay, Zoomer. Well played for Wako in this one. Yeah, you can't give this away. That time, he just popped off.
Oh, yeah. So much damage coming through on this side. And Beyond Gaming, I'll be honest, I think in this series, the biggest improvement for them is probably just showcasing the Gragas pick from Leon. This is a very popular pick. We've seen it across the LPL and the LCK. It can actually outplay a lot of the strong top laners like the Jace, and sometimes even like things like the Gnar, because if you can go for a split build based on the AD and AP kind of mix build that we're seeing from all across the board. But in the other areas, whether Minji actually has another champion to play, I'm actually not that satisfied with the answer. So I think it's a bit of a mixed bag coming in from Beyond Gaming. Yes, they were expected to win, and they did come down with the 3-0, but still a lot of questions going forward.
Yeah, I think that is a potential weak point for teams that are able to deal in more than just one lane or another. As you said, Minji was effectively neutralized that game. Although, at the end, he still managed to just, like, two-shot the Braum, so it's not like it even lasted forever. But really, the issue was the fact that Husha just got off to a flying start, and so did Wako. It seemed like Impunity had some interesting drafts, some creative choices, but it always seemed to come down to execution. Taco did not have enough presence in this series. I liked Lee Sin on paper. I liked what he's been able to do with it, but he just could not match the pressure that Husha was putting out.
Yeah, I feel like the first 2v2 mistakes there were very, very costly because we did have Husha coming in with a red buff. He was able to get 2 extra auto attacks. Those slow down Lee Sin, and that also meant the reset into the second kill against Faith as well. So, I mean, this game, in terms of the draft, the Lee Sin LeBlanc should have had right of way in mid jungle and should have been able to shut down the Zeri. The game plan was definitely there, but once again, the execution unfortunately went the way of Beyond Gaming. Great stuff on Husha to get that early snowball. It shut down completely the game plan for Beyond Gaming, and if Zeri, you don't interfere with that champion, she just gets to play her game, this is kind of what you get.
Yeah. So Impunity's playoff journey ends here for them in the spring split, but they will have a chance to reflect on it, come back looking stronger for the summer, we would hope. All the same, though, playoff performance, the fact that they made it here, they were definitely a cut above the bottom two teams. It does show some development from this squad. I do like what we're seeing from them, just need to improve on the execution factor. For Beyond Gaming, they've definitely had their eyes open a little bit. I think they made some mistakes that other teams would have been able to punish far more effectively, and they're going to need to tighten that up if they want to stay alive. They move forward in the playoff race, but they are still in the lower brackets, so they can't afford to drop another series.
Definitely has been the case here, and once again, hate to be a broken record, but the question has been all along, what is the third champion for Minji? He basically has two playable champions in Akali and Ari. That's it. That's not exactly a large.
He dabbles in Zoe and LeBlanc, though.
The Zoe is... I don't think Zoe is a particularly strong champion in this patch across the board that we're seeing. Like, even if he had just something like the Syndra, I think the situation would be very different. That's another tempo champion, but it's much more consistent in winning lane.
I mean, it would have... They had lots of ball delivery systems. Yeah, it's a little anti-synergy with the Gragas, but it could have worked out. I feel like Minji has one mode, and it's Assassin.
You're absolutely right, and we'll see if he can right the ship. He did play a bit of Victor and Orianna when he was on Berjaya, and I have to say the reason I'm harping on this is because Beyond Gaming, Wako has been doing great. Liang is a good split pusher. All they need to do is actually make it to late game. Sure, they might not be the best front-to-back team fighter, but they have the 4-1 that is very reliable for them, so if they just have wave clear mid, I think that would elevate the entire team. They get a couple of days off, they get 1 week, well, not exactly the entire week, but they get close to 7 days to prep, and hopefully that's what we'll see from Minji. But in the meantime, we have to give it up to Wako. 10-0-1 on the Zeri. I can't say this was unexpected, given Wako's performance in lane across this entire split and just how strong the champion is. I don't expect him to get Zeri, even though he wasn't able to play it in the regular season. I feel like this is a really good indication that, yes, he does play this champion.
Oh, yeah. I feel like you have to at this stage of the game for sure, but other teams will be taking note. They most likely won't be giving it to him going forward anyways, but we expect nothing less from the man who stepped into Phil Doggo's shoes on this Mega Bank Beyond Gaming roster, right? He has definitely looked solid in this split overall. There was really not a whole lot of question there. There are a few other pieces we want to see from the rest of this Beyond Gaming squad to see if they can get back to the form that they were in the last year. Keeping in mind they were the only team to really be able to contest PSG Talon in the heyday, but it is a very different split now, Clement. We have a lot more competitive teams at the top, and that does mean that Beyond Gaming are moving forward in this one, but we are taking ourselves a break. We'll be right back with the interview.